Hey, welcome back to the new and improved Self-Improvement Australia podcast. With me today, I have my good friend Ethan Benstead. And Ethan, we're going to launch right into it. What is your thought of the day, sir?
My thought of the day today, my good friend James Dent, is to help accept yourself. You need to write down everything that you hate about yourself. Because once you write down all the things that you hate about yourself, you'll realize that people in your life have those exact same things, and you're able to accept them for the way they are. So accept yourself for the way you are, even with the things that you hate.
Great success.
And as you can probably hear as well, we now have brand new.
I've been married a long time ago. Where did you come from? Where did you go? Where did you come from, Cotton Eye Joe?
USA.
James, what is your thought of the day?
This isn't my thought of the day, but gosh, having a soundboard is amazing. I've been using it all week. I created this soundboard on Wednesday night, and from Wednesday to today, which is Friday, every 5 seconds I just pull it up, wham bam, and then I just give him the classic. So we're in for a treat today. My thought of the day that I wrote down is I'm back in like the office space. No more of this renovations going on, no more walls being torn down, put up. And so I'm in a much better spot. I can start taking things a lot more seriously. And the reason that I had that thought of the day, and the reason I'm putting it to you now, is because not only your mental environment, but also having like dedicated areas for dedicated things, huge, absolutely huge. If you don't already have a separate space for working on stuff, find it, even if it's the local library. But Ethan, today we're going to be talking about Self-Improvement Australia, what it is, how you came to it, and I guess where people can go to from here. But starting way back at the beginning, for you, when did you find self-improvement, and what, I guess, prompted you to go into it?
That's a good question. For me, self-improvement probably started in 2021. That's probably when it like first started. So I'm like 3 years in for my self-improvement journey. It all started when I had this friend of mine who I worked with Woolworths with. His name is Corey. He was like, "Hey man, stocks." And I'm like, "I don't know anything about stocks." So he gave me Rich Dad, Poor Dad to read. So I feel like a lot of people's first book into financial independence is Rich Dad, Poor Dad. And then since then, I went down the rabbit hole of financial independence, which then most self-improvement influencers also talk about financial independence. So that went from financial independence to self-improvement, and I've been on that journey ever since. So I've done pretty much everything that you can think about in the book, almost. I've done the cold showers every single day for 2 years, and then I stopped because I didn't like it. I've done the meditation, I've done the journaling, I've done the gymming, running, XYZ, everything under the sun. And I'm still continuing with a lot of my self-improvement, and some of it is still the same as it was 2 years ago. A lot of it has changed though. But that is my journey for the last 3 years.
Yeah, man. And just to follow up, when you were getting into that, was that coming from like a positive place or a negative place? Like, was it coming from, I want more money, or like, I don't have enough money, if you know what I'm saying?
I don't think it came from either of that.
Oh, what do you think?
It came from just this. I was just curious. Like it was more. I feel like I'm meant for something else. Maybe this is it, and I was just curious about it. And so then I just like jumped down the rabbit hole from there. It wasn't about I want more money or I don't have enough money. It was more, where can my curiosity take me? And here I am.
Yeah, man. Absolutely.
And what about yours? I know that you've been on the self-improvement journey for a little bit longer than I have. So take us through the beginning, I guess, of James Dent.
You know, fun fact, we actually need a brand new sound effect for this. So I'm just going to pull that one up. All right. So I kind of started way back when I was like 12. You know, I was like watching YouTube. I couldn't tell you what YouTube I was watching at that point in my life, but it was probably something to the effect of like ancient lost civilizations, crazy new discovery. And then I'd get YouTube ads and it'd be Ty Lopez.
Knowledge.
And he said, the more you learn, the more you can earn.
Knowledge.
That's why I had these 7 new bookshelves installed.
Knowledge.
And I was already reading a little bit at that point, but it was like, it wasn't very dense stuff. It was pretty much just, you know, like Asterix and Obelisk and, you know, all of those sorts of like cartoony comic books. And like mentally I was above it in terms of I could comprehend quite far above it. But like, you know, I was just enjoying them. I was like, yeah, this seems like the best use of my time. That's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to effectively read comic books. And eventually, once Ty Lopez had seen the ad like 1,000 times, I was like,
knowledge.
Eventually, I was like, you know what? This guy's really cool. I'm going to check out some of his other stuff because I had no money because I was 12. And so I checked out like all of his other YouTube videos, and I was like, whoa, he's rich. He has a fast car. What? And so then I was like, I was down. I was like, yeah, man, I'm going to read like 100 books a year, which I did. And so that was pretty sick. But when I started taking it more seriously than just like reading a bunch and I guess regurgitating Ty's ideas, was when I was in grade 11. There was one occasion in grade 9 when I started taking it seriously, but we won't go there. But when I was in grade 11, I was like 16 at the time. 16? Yeah, 16. I had a girlfriend for a period of 3 weeks. And when she dumped me, I was heartbroken. It was the biggest experience of my life. I couldn't handle it. And then, you know, after like about a week, maybe 2 weeks, I was like, you know what? I'm going to show her. And so then I started hitting the gym, like really, really seriously hitting the gym. Started reading, really, really seriously reading. And I started basically doing all of the same things, but I started actually like doing them properly, taking them seriously, trying to see results instead of just doing them for the sake of doing them. And, you know, having that massive like pain motivator in the background, that was huge for me getting started. And yeah, now I think I've chilled out a lot more now. It's coming from a lot more of a positive place. Like I want all of these things, not like, oh, I'm going to show them. My whole life was dedicated to proving them wrong, which is probably good for my mental health. I don't know if it's good for anything else. But yeah, that's enough out of me.
And I guess my follow-up question for you is like it's good that you've kind of gotten out of that mindset there of I want to prove this person wrong. At the same time though, do you think that pain is a better motivator than what you have now?
I think it's definitely a factor in it. Like, one of the things for me that I put an emphasis on is like aiming for maybe not pain, but there needs to be reward and punishment. So like it used to be I would get up out of bed and hit a massive workout, because I had like this fire in the back of my head that was like, you're not good enough, she was right to dump you, all of those things, right? And since I've chilled out, now it's more like, get out of bed, you need to do this or else you have double as many push-ups tomorrow, all of those kind of things. So it's definitely switched from an external motivator to an internal motivator. And the reason that I think that's important is because I can actually control what I think about myself, but I can't control what this random person who I haven't seen or spoken to in like 4 years can, influence. But I think there's a time and a place for both, and more importantly, just use what you've got. Like if you've got all of this angst and negative energy, you may as well use it. It's going to be there anyway. May as well put it in a sort of positive direction. But if you've got all of these happy emotions, like, yeah, everything's awesome, I'm the best, then you may as well just use that.
Bazinga!
That was not the one that I meant to press, but that's okay. I'm going to try again later. I'm off the soundboard for the next 2 minutes. All right, so Ethan, let's imagine.
Mm-hmm.
We are on self-improvement, right?
Yes.
Someone's watching this podcast and they're like, oh, what is Self-Improvement Australia? These two guys, they seem super cool. They've got like the greatest soundboard in town. No one makes a better production than these two guys. But I'm not really on self-improvement. What would you say to that person to, I guess, try and sell them on the idea of being on self-improvement?
Something that I have recently delved into to becoming a student in is Stoicism. And something that the Stoics talk about is how to handle ambition with being content, right? So you can, as you said before, don't really think about the things that you can't control, because realistically, the only thing that you can control is your thinking. You can kind of control your health in some regard, but your heart might stop randomly at some point. You can't control that. The only thing you can control is that thinking there. I think that's important. I think that's really powerful and strong. I think if you get your thinking underway and you start putting in the reps with your brain, that's probably where I would want to start with self-improvement. Being content with what you have, but then also knowing that you have the ability and the power to pursue more by just controlling your thinking. As something that I'm also, it's good because Stoicism is kind of self-improvement at the same time, but it's good to be a student once again and kind of going back through the steps. I'm enjoying this pathway towards Stoicism, to becoming a true Stoic. Otherwise, if you really wanted to start somewhere, we actually have a program for someone who wants to be part of Self-Improvement Australia. But James, before we get into that, James, if you were a beginner, if you were 16-year-old James with all this anger inside of you, and a spirit came down from the heavens above and said, James, you're going to start self-improvement.
I can say it. I am going to say it. I'm going to start self-improvement.
And the spirit goes to you and says, this is what you're going to do. What would be that thing?
Clarifying question. Could I see the angel?
Yes, you can see the angel. You are the angel talking to yourself, your younger self. James the angel has
I thought we were talking about the angel John.
What?
You know, the angel.
And his name is John C.
Ethan's out of here. So I'm going to tell you what I did, and then I'm going to update that with what I would do. So what I did was, I'm going to take this as 16 because that's when I started taking it seriously. And what I did was I basically got a book about the military. I started reading up quite a lot on sort of what they do in the military, how they think about things. And that was the point where I started. So most military regimes go something like, you wake up early, you sort out all of your basic chores for the day, you exercise, then you do a day's work, and then after that day's work, you basically spend the whole rest of the day preparing for the next day. So, shining your shoes, laying out your clothes for the next morning, like making sure you have enough food so you can recover properly, and you're in bed like super early. So I was like, well, if it works for them, it'll probably work for me. And it totally did work for me. That was really effective. While Ethan's not here, I'm going to make me the dude.
Ooh.
Oops, that didn't work. Oh well. But yeah, so that's what I did.
My webcam decided to die for some reason.
That's all right. Not a problem. But yeah, so that's what I did at the time. But the aspect that I was totally missing was having a community of people to, I guess, go with me and grow with me. So I had a lot of mates that I could talk to about, like, oh man, I'm feeling this way about that thing, I'm feeling that way about this thing. And they were all really supportive of all that. But no one was really doing any of the habits that I wanted to instill in myself. And so I was struggling to find, like, any close friends who I was like, yeah, that is the kind of person that I want to be like. There was one guy I can think of who, like, I messaged all of my friends. I was like, hey, what are your goals at the moment? And there was one dude who was able to, like, he mentioned what his goals were at the time. And yeah, I was like, okay, that's great. He never did anything about those goals, but he did have them. And I was like, this is the best that I've got. So if I could start over again, I would definitely consider doing the military thing. But what I would really, really, really want to do is have someone or a group of people to join me on that journey and to come through with me. Not because it was lonely sort of doing it, but, there's so many things that I had to find out myself that I guess other people that I've met since then, they just knew. They were just like, yeah, of course you have to, like, brush your teeth before you, like, of course you have to shave while you're in the shower. That's probably the one that was most recent. I was trying to think of a more relatable example, but it's like, yeah, of course you shave while you're in the shower at night, so that then the next morning you don't have to shave. Welcome back, Ethan.
Thanks.
Hang on, I'm going to give you some music.
Technical
Still
difficulty.
familiar with the stuff. All right. Welcome back, Ethan, with... Oh, dear. Okay, here we go. Welcome back, Ethan.
Pedro, 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 con la amiga del medio y Santa Fe. Pedro, 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 Pedro.
All right. I was just finishing saying, I don't know if you've been listening in, but I started out with the very military style of doing things, and the only thing that I was missing was other people to join me in that. And I feel like if I had other people to help out with that, when I fell off the bandwagon as I turned 18, and I was like, yeah, man, parties, drink a full bottle of vodka, let's go. That was when I started falling off. And I say it now like I'm an idiot, because I was. But I reckon if I wasn't relying on other friends, and I had, like, my self-improvement core group of friends, I think I would have been much more consistent on it and a lot further ahead of where I am with it now.
Almost like having an accountability partner.
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
People to hold you accountable, like having almost sort of a community, you would say. Of
You
people.
would have to say so. Well, Ethan.
Yeah, James, what's up?
I have a thought experiment for you.
Oh, please. I love your thought experiments.
All right, you're a listener of this.
Mm-hmm.
You've partaken in the last 20 minutes of amazing content that we've been pumping out. And you think to yourself, you know, these guys, they seem really cool. They've been on self-improvement. My friends are lame compared to these guys. These guys are the bomb. And then you think to yourself, you know what? If I spend the next year, 2 years, 3 years, being exactly like these two fine men, my life would be a heck of a lot better. And even if I only did it for the next 3 years, and I was just with these guys all the time, I got to be more like them, I got to learn from them, we all grew together, we made this little community. For the next 3 years, even if I did nothing after that, my life would get so much better in those 3 years that the next 30 years after would be worlds apart from where I could have been. So that's my thought experiment.
Mm-hmm.
And if I said to you, you know, Ethan, if you want to spend the next 3 years hanging out with two dudes of this amazing caliber, it's going to cost you. For the next 3 years, it'll cost you a little bit over $1,000.
Over 3 years, you say?
For 3 years.
And if I gave you this $1,000, how would I improve? What would I do?
We're going to get there.
Why would I give you $1,000?
But can you imagine 3 years hanging out with not only us, but also every other person in Australia who is getting richer, healthier, wiser, better, and this gigantic community of folks for the next 3 years, $1,000, and we all just grow. Can you imagine how powerful that network would be?
I can't begin.
And then I'm going to follow it up. Imagine that once you paid that $1,000 for no extra cost, people like us, we're going to give you courses where we're going to be like, hey, thanks for buying, thanks for hanging out with us. Thanks for being part of the community. We're going to give you a bunch of brand new courses and content so you can learn how to do sales, do business, gym programs, automations, tools and tactics to get big on social media. And we were like, you know what? All of this is free once you've been part of our community. And then, hang on a minute, we're not even done yet. The most important part of all of this is that it's not even $1,000 up front. Yeah. So, with the current foreign exchange market as it is, I'm talking about in the area of $30 a month. Now, for context,
Australian dollars, $30 a month.
30 Australian dollars. For context, right? In a month, that is less than 3 rotisserie chickens. That is, I've calculated this. That is, oh my gosh, 12 packets of Tim Tams on special. Right? You get cheap and nasty Tim Tams. That is 12 packets of them. Right? Mint slices. Again, 12 packets. Now, I don't know how many mint slices you go through, but that's chump change to me. And then hang on a minute. Final aspect of it. We're going to do monthly meetups, are we not?
Well, who's
Like-
we? Because I'm the person going to join this group. So
That's true.
are we going to do monthly meetups?
Yeah, man, dude, monthly meetups. I'm talking like once a month. We're going to find our way to join all of these people together in person for gym workouts. Right, we get to hang out in person for this network, no cost, and mate, you think that's it, but it continues to amaze, right? $1 per day, and you get to do Q&As. So I have opened up a new channel in our Skool community that I'm calling Q&A.
But James, wait, hold on. You said something then.
Oh,
What
sorry.
is Skool? What is a Skool
Skool?
community?
Oh, sorry. Jeez. Well, if you've been living under a rock for the last 3 years, Skool is an amazing community of like-minded folks who all have one common purpose: getting better. And now I'm going to change sound effects. 2 seconds. When you join Skool.com, all you need to do is look Right now, do it today. It'll be phenomenal. Not just for you, but for everyone around you. You're going to get bigger, you're going to get wealthier, you're going to get
I couldn't hear a word you were saying.
You're going to get better, you're going to have more relationships, more friends, more family, more loved ones. It's going to be a riot time. And I've got even better news.
I couldn't hear a word you were saying while the music was playing. I could not hear a single word.
What I was saying was, you have to imagine the massive guitar solo in the background, but you're going to get bigger, you're going to get richer, you're going to get happier, you're going to have more friends, more family, more loved ones. It's going to be amazing. And get in right now. It is $1 a day. Now, when I was broke, I would walk down to IGA and I would do a lap of the car park. And the reason I would do a lap of the car park is because, especially near the crossings, people would sometimes drop coins. And so I would do this every single day. I'd go for a lap around the car park when I was super duper broke, right? And most days I would find a couple of silver coins, but then one day I hit the jackpot and I found a $50 note. Now, that is 1.5 months of getting this amazing entrepreneur sales, make money content. And then in addition to all of that, you get everything else that we've listed. It's quite a good deal, don't you think?
So just to recap for anyone that's not wondering what is this train wreck right now, James and I have created a Skool community called Self-Improvement Australia. We have rebranded ourselves from Disciples of Zeus, although that's going to stay in the background for probably a future project a little bit later on. So in Self-Improvement Australia, we have started a Skool community where, as James said, we will be doing courses on sales, business, gym. We're going to be your accountability partners to make sure that you continue on your journey for self-improvement. With that as well, as James said, Q&As, meetups every single month. If you're in the greater Brisbane area, we'll try, once this starts going quite big, we'll try and do some meetups all around Australia and international, depending on how big this thing gets, as well as some giveaways throughout the month as well, all for the low price of $30 Australian. Because I know that when I started my self-improvement journey, as James was saying before, something that I struggled with was having that accountability partner. Also making a lot of mistakes along the way. We want to help you. We want to help you create a better, stronger, richer version of yourself. And that's why we have created Self-Improvement Australia.
Yes, sir. So I'm just going to show all of our viewers. This is, oh dear, sorry, I pushed the wrong button. This is how you get to Self-Improvement Australia. So this is the Skool website, right? We've got all of these nerd communities. Yeah, real men, real style. You know what real men, real style should be? Search for Self-Improvement Australia. And then you'll come to something like this. I think it's not showing up because I'm already a member. But you're going to come to this page and you're going to be like, wow, those guys look absolutely jacked. They look huge. Like, look at these men. I'm going to zoom in just so you can acknowledge the size of our muscles. Oh. Like, look at those boys. Look at them. All right. Now I'm going to zoom back out. And it says, the hub of self-improvement in Australia. Regular meetups with a growing group of committed members to help your fitness, finances, and fulfillment. That's solid. That's a really good ploy. But as you'll see, we're already building out a course, toolkit for social media growth and automation. All right. In our community, we've got free chat, fitness, finances, fulfillment, feedback, suggestions, and more. That includes the Q&A that you'll get exclusive access to. Ethan, I don't understand how someone could be watching this video right now and not be subscribed, not have liked this video, not have left a comment of how excited they are to join the Skool community, and not have actually gone to skool.com like I just showed you. It is that simple. You search in the search bar, Self-Improvement Australia, and then you just join the community. Is that not a joke how simple it is?
I guess the only thing I have to say is, if you think it's a scam, cool. That's all good. You can think it's a scam. Or you can risk 12 packets of half-price Tim Tams. 12 packets of half-price Tim Tams and actually begin your journey of improving yourself daily.
Absolutely. You know, Ethan, we are going to almost call it there, but I'm going to ask you a question. Let's pretend that we post this. It goes viral, because why wouldn't it?
Look at us.
We get 50 members. When we get to 50 members, would you drop a sales course in the Self-Improvement Australia group?
When we get to 50 members, not if, when we get to 50 members, not only will I drop a sales course, which I'm very, very excited about doing, I will also be doing a giveaway. A giveaway for Sales Mastery. All of the books that I have read to become a sales genius, plus some other things as well, which I will announce once we are at 50 members. But only when we are at 50 members will I release Sales Mastery with Ethan Benstead and the giveaway for sales.
I cannot wait. Man, the more and more that you talk about it, the more and more that I think to myself, I need to join that. And then I realize I'm already in it.
Well, if you think, if you really think about it, James, all right? Not only do you get to learn, right, and become a better version of yourself, but you're only paying $30 Australian to win some amazing giveaways worth hundreds of dollars. And the less people that are in it, the more chances you get to win. I mean, I don't see, there's no comprehensible reason why you should not join Self-Improvement Australia on Skool.
I think you would have to be really disabled to not join.
Well,
I get it. I get it, Ethan. You know, someone says, "Oh, another subscription," but I already have Disney.
My question for those people is, what money is Disney Plus making you? How are you bettering yourself?
I'll give you one better. Disney or Netflix, right? You get to Netflix and chill. Hold the phone. I just remember to have a sound. Disney or Netflix, you get to Netflix and chill. Self-Improvement Australia, you get to make money and chill. You get to get bigger and chill. You get to be happy and chill. And you know what all of those things do? They make you absolutely irresistible to whatever sex you find attractive. And so, like, I can't imagine a world where you look at the world and you go, you know what would make me more attractive? Having a Disney Plus subscription. Like, I've got it, Ethan. I've got it. The way that I'm going to make my life enviable, right? Everyone's going to hate my life. They're going to be jealous of me because I have a Disney Plus subscription. All right. I think on that fine note, we might have to leave it there. But Ethan, as ever, it's been a pleasure working with you, sir.
Of course. And for everyone listening out there, number one, like this video because we are both very likable people. Number two, subscribe to the channel because we will be giving out, if you can't do Skool, that's completely fine. If you still want to learn, subscribe to Self-Improvement Australia, where we will be giving you weekly updates of what's in the Skool community and also amazing content just like this one. But more importantly, if you do have the spare money for 12 and a half hours.
Okay, no. Hold the phone. This is not if you have the spare money. If you don't have the money, all right, leave your house, touch grass, go for a walk to the nearest shopping centre and keep walking around until you see, oh, someone dropped $2 here. That'll pay for my first 2 days, right? Then after you see that $2, you see a $5 note and you're like, oh, I've got my first week paid for. Gosh, this was a productive little session. I should go outside more. And then you'll end up going to the meetups with us in the parks. You'll be like, whoa, this vitamin D, this is making my muscles enlarge. I feel massive. And then once you have these gigantic muscles, you're going to realize how good Self-Improvement Australia is. Even it's been a pleasure. Like, subscribe, and join the Skool group.
Self-Improvement Australia. Goodbye, James.
Woo!